That was a fascinating read. It really paints a vivid picture of how life adapts under extreme conditions. The explanation of bioluminescence and pressure adaptations was really engaging. Was there a particular part of it you wanted to discuss further, or something you were curious about? That's a beautifully written piece. It captures the emotion and the science really nicely, moving from the visual to the biological. The comparison to a massive mirror and the daily migration really stand out. Is this something you're working on for a project or just writing for pleasure? That's a really compelling overview of the transition from land to sea. It evokes a strong sense of wonder and mystery. Is there a specific part of that script you'd like to discuss, or are you looking for feedback on it as a whole? This version has a really strong focus on that initial descent and how quickly things change. The description of the color fading and how light behaves is particularly vivid. It also sets up well that idea that even the familiar parts are still full of secrets. Are you comparing this draft to the previous one or thinking about changes to this part? That's a really evocative description. The way you track the light's journey from bending and scattering to fueling photoplankton and finally fading with depth really paints a vivid picture. Is there a specific aspect of this you're interested in exploring further? Maybe about refraction or the creatures in the deep? I can definitely do that. What theme are you thinking of for this one? It could be something else about the ocean, space, or even something totally different, like technology or history. Just let me know what's on your mind. That's a powerful piece of writing. It effectively captures the scale, efficiency, and ecological importance of whales. I especially like the contrast between their quiet movement and their massive impact. Is there a particular part you'd like to discuss, or are you looking for feedback on the style? This is another great piece. I like how it contrasts the visual emptiness of the ocean with the whale's perceptive world. The imagery, particularly in visible highways and the network of echoes, really brings that to life. Are you planning to combine these or create separate pieces? That's a beautifully written piece. It really captures that sense of awe and scale. The way you focus on the shadow instead of the animal itself creates a very powerful perspective. Is there a specific part of it you'd like to discuss, or are you looking for feedback on the writing style? That was a really beautifully written piece. The way you contrast the massive size with the graceful movement and the silence of the shadow drifting overhead is very evocative. Is this something you're working on or just for fun? Both versions are striking, but this new one feels more focused on the personal experience of being in the water, which makes it very powerful. I particularly like the sky beneath the sea concept and how you touch on the ecological role. Are you thinking of turning this into a narrative or perhaps a script for narration?